What's going on, world? What's cracking, gang? What's the deal? It's everybody's favorite Unk, and today we got yet another Kakarot.
What's the problem, Kakarot?
Huh? Kakarot? What does that mean?
That's right, we got another Kakarot. You guys already know that whether it's from Tamashii themselves or from the third-party companies, we're going to get about a bajillion Kakarots every year. And I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. Goku is not one of my favorite characters, but he is the lifeblood of the Dragon Ball franchise. And, you know, I enjoy a good Goku figure. And when one of these companies nails a good Goku, they nail it. And is this one of those? Man, let's just hop right into it. Now, before we get into it, you guys know I always like to ask a customary question to kind of get you guys interactive in the video, in the comment section and whatnot. But for this review's question, we're going to stick to some fashion. What is you guys' favorite fit that Goku ever wore? For me, it's going to be Yard Rat Goku. If not Yard Rat Goku, then I'm going to go with End of Z Goku with that turquoise green outfit from when he was about to become the trainer for the legendary Oob. But leave that in the comments below. What is your favorite Goku fit? Make sure you leave that one down below. Let's have a discussion. All right, now first we're going to look at the box art. Normally we look at the MSRP, but we'll get into that in a second. If you look at the front of the box, it's your typical Demoniacal Fit design. Looks awesome. Has a render of the figure there that's real stylized. Says Golden Storm on it. If you look on the right side of the box, it just says Golden Storm. Look on the left side of the box, has a nice little picture of Goku with his dragon fist. And on the back side of the box, you got your typical jargon. You got pictures of the figure in some poses. It says super action, all that good stuff. But let's get this guy cracked out of the box and take a closer look. You feel me? All right, now fresh out of the box, man, I'm super excited to get this guy open. And as you can see, as soon as I get this guy out of the box, the halo is cracked and it falls off. Now, a little bit of a story time, guys. This is going to be a quick review because of this, but a little bit of story time. I tried to contact 5K Toys through their email and through their Instagram DM, and I have still yet to get a response. I hit them and let them know, hey, I received a broken Golden Storm in the mail, and they have not responded to me yet. I did get this figure on Thursday of last week. If you're watching this review, I'm recording this on Sunday, so I'm going to give them a little bit more time. I wasn't going to crack this guy open and mess around with him anymore. I was just going to leave it in the box and try to get a new figure. But, you know, I got excited. I wanted to crack him open and just mess around with him more. So I ended up going ahead and doing the review. But this was really disappointing, man. And this goes to my point about the MSRP on this guy. I believe he was around $60 after tax when I ordered him. And just today, as of recording this review, I went on 5K Toys and he sold out. So maybe that's why they haven't responded to me. But if anybody from 5K Toys is watching this, at least let me know, like, hey, can you give me like a $5 credit or something? Because I mean, you know, a halo isn't that important. But for this character, it's very important. And I understand things like this happen with, you know, fragile halos. Look, hell, my Tamashii version of Frieza, Final Form Frieza, you know, his halo broke, you know, probably the second day I was messing around with them. So the halos tend to be pretty, you know, pretty fragile. But it's just really a really disappointing way to start this guy out. And, you know, I took him out and I was looking at the aesthetic on him. I was looking over the figure to see how he looked and kind of messing around with the articulation. One of the knees was just kind of seizing up as well. And it wasn't really easy to move, and it felt like I was going to break it. So I ended up just throwing them back in the box, and a couple of days later I opened them up. That was today, and kind of messed around with them. So that's disappointing, but let's just keep going with the review, man, because this left a sour taste in my mouth. But, you know, things like this happen when you collect action figures. So I'll give them a little bit of grace as we get into the figure. The aesthetic on this guy, it looks okay. There are a few things that really bug me. The big thing that a lot of people have been talking about is that black little bit of shading on the crotch. And it is really random. It looks like a little dookie stain or something like that. It's not the most flattering thing. I wouldn't have that big of an issue with it if there was more shading throughout on the figure. This is the only spot on the figure besides the hair that has shading. So it's like if you're going to put that little black spot there, then you might as well just shade the rest of the pants or something. Make it look a little bit more uniform. I'm kind of glad they didn't because I wouldn't have wanted that black shading, but that's just really weird to me. Another thing that's kind of a downside is the hair. Even though it looks great and it's shaded very nicely in the front, I like kind of that pearlescent look to it. There's like seams that you can see all through the hair of mine. There's a lot of like cracks showing and stuff like that. It just looks really cheap. Not the best, not the best thing when you're looking at the hair on this guy. I will say one thing I really do like about this guy is that the faces, all the face plates look amazing, which we'll get into more as we get into the accessories, but the face plates look really, really good. I mean, he's a Goku figure. We've seen this body mold before, over and over used again, so there's nothing too crazy about it. You know what you're getting into. He's just not really the best looking figure, but he looks fine. I think he definitely looks better than the Tamashii version. That version I do not have, but from the pictures I've seen of this one in comparison to the Tamashii version, I think this one looks better. So there's a thumbs up in that department, but there's certain things that they could have done a lot better, especially with the competition going on for Demoniacal Fit, which we'll get into in a little bit here. All right, now let's take a look at the accessories. So, the one thing about Demoniacal Fit that you can't deny is that they just pack in the accessories, and they did it again with this one. You get these beautiful face plates, man. You get your yellow face. You look at that yellow face, man, the detail is so, so good. And like I said, on all these face plates, the detail looks really, really nice. You have the teeth gritted face, which, that's customary as well. Looks really, really good as well. I like how they didn't make the lines too dark on these faces as well. That looks really nice. And then I think the most important face for Super Saiyan 3 Goku is that smirking face. You got that smirking face, and that thing looks awesome. This is probably the face I'm going to display him with because, Super Saiyan Goku is just a snarky asshole. You know what I mean? It looks really good. You have your hands, of course. You got your blast hands. You've got your instant transmission hands. You've got your martial arts hands. Your Kamehameha hands, and you've got chopping hands with this release, which is really cool. You don't get chopping hands a lot with Goku, or waving hands. I think the Saiyan Rays on Earth Goku is the last Goku that I can remember that had the waving hand, but it has both for this. Instead of just having that right hand, it has both, which is really cool. And the star of the show with the accessories, of course, is that big bad aura effect. And this thing is awesome, man. This is my first aura effect with the lightning in it. They're not the easiest thing to get in, but a little bit of hairdryer work, and you're good to go on that as well. So the accessories are always 2 thumbs up from Demoniacal Fit. That's one thing that is really the saving grace for, some of their releases that aren't as good, spoiler alert, as this one. I think this is the saving grace, is that it has all these accessories packed into this thing. Now, moving on to articulation, man. You guys know, if you watch my reviews, I'm not a scientist. I do not design action figures, but I will put him in some poses, goddammit, and show you what he can do. And I didn't really do that much with this figure because I'll tell you, man, off rip, he feels really brittle and just cheap out of the packaging. Now, I'm gonna have the audio up on some of this, but you can hear his arms squeak. Yeah, you hear that squeaking? That's not good. It just made me really scared to handle this figure, and that's why I threw him back in the box and was just gonna try to get a replacement. But since he's sold out now, I see why I probably won't be able to get a replacement, so I'm just gonna have to live with it. But yeah, man, it's not really fun to pose this guy because he doesn't feel buttery smooth. He has all of the typical, he has all of the standard articulation that any 2.0 body mold has. So there's nothing new there. The ankles are really, really bad. There's no, front and back pivot on these really. The rocker's okay. Toe joint works good. You can get, almost the splits. Double jointed knees work. Like I said, one of my knees was seasoned up, but once I put the hairdryer to it, it worked pretty fine. I had to do a lot of hairdryer work on this guy. I spent at least like 3 to 4 minutes just hairdrying him so he wasn't that hard to move around. He's really hard to stand. And I'm gonna compare him to the Kong Super Saiyan 5 Goku at the end, just like, aesthetic wise. But compared to that one, he does not stand anywhere near as easy as that one. Like, that one's hard to stand too because of the hair, but this one is even harder to stand, and it's just kind of annoying and it's a pain. So I wasn't trying to go through all that, especially because I was like, maybe I can get a replacement so I don't want to break anything. Articulation is okay. He can, his ab crunch is fine. It rocks back and forth. The hair is cool. The hair has like that little, that little hinge in the back that you can kind of pivot it around and move it up and down to make it easier to kind of stand it. But it doesn't really help too much. Not a whole lot of highlights with this, just the typical stuff you're used to. And in comparison to the Demoniacal Fit figures I do have, it is just very trash. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like that Bitter Awakening of Vegeta that came out recently was super buttery smooth. The Tenacious Martialist is super buttery smooth. This guy is scary to pose. So I'm probably just gonna put him on the shelf and have him stay there just to fill that spot that I needed a Super Saiyan 3 Goku in, to be honest with you. So articulation is not that good. It's standard, but it's not that good. And now we're gonna get into some size comparisons, guys. We're gonna throw some size comparisons in here. I'm sorry, man. This figure just really disappointed me in a lot of ways. So excuse me if I don't sound as enthused in this review as I normally am. But we're gonna do some size comparisons. First, we got him up against some other Demoniacal Fit figures. We have him against the Tenacious Martialist, which is the Ultra Instinct / Goku Blue. And we have him up against the Bitter Awakening Vegeta. And he scales, just fine to these superior Demoniacal Fit figures, in my opinion. But he scales just fine to these. And then we're going to put him up against some other Kakarots. We've got him up against the Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku body with the full power Super Saiyan head on him. I did a little head swap there recently, just messing around with some stuff. And we've got him up against the superhero Goku. And yeah, he pairs just fine with these guys. It's crazy when the superhero Goku is a better figure. Like the superhero Goku to me is probably the worst Goku figure Tamachi's put out. And it's crazy that it's better. If you're wondering where my full power Goku body is at, I used it for Mr. Gohan, so he's out in the living room. And here we got him up against some villains. We got him up against Evil Boo, Super Boo, whatever you want to call him. We've also got him up against Goku Black, and I had to put Super Boo in there just to see how he pairs against a villain from that same arc, even though Super Boo never went against Super Saiyan 3 Goku. That was Fat Boo that did. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I watched Dragon Ball Z, but I think that's right. But, just to kind of keep it in that wheelhouse. I don't have a Fat Boo, so this is going to have to do for now. And then we're going to do a quick comparison against some Dragon Stars Gokus that I have in here, just for all you Dragon Stars collectors as well. This is a Super Saiyan 3 custom Goku that I put together using the Ultra Instinct Goku body. I think it looks pretty cool. And then we've got the End of Z Goku custom that I used a Whis Goku body for, Super Saiyan Blue Goku. And he pairs well with these. Yeah, here's the thing, right? If you have the Dragon Star Super Saiyan 3 Goku, definitely get this. It's way better. But this custom one, I honestly like the custom one that I made. Like, it looks better to me. So anyway, that's how it looks for some Dragon Stars. And for the last big bad comparison we're going to do is against the Kong Studios Super Saiyan 5 Xeno Goku. And yeah, man, Xeno Goku is taller than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that because he's got that, buffer body type and he's got that bigger hair. Man, honestly, I prefer Demoniacal Fit to Kong, okay? I'm going to say that right now, but this Kong Super Saiyan 5 Goku is miles ahead of the Demoniacal Fit Super Saiyan 3 Goku. The hair looks better. There's shading all throughout the hair. The articulation is honestly about the same on both figures. I mean, Demoniacal Fit has a little bit better range, but it's so much harder to stand Super Saiyan 3 Goku that it's just annoying. I do like the way the hair falls on the Super Saiyan 5 better as well. On the Goku from Demoniacal Fit, the hair kind of sticks out, which is fine. It makes it a little bit easier to stand, but it doesn't make that big of a difference, so it's kind of pointless. I wish they would have had it, like, flow down the back a little bit more. But yeah, honestly, the Kong figure is just a better figure, in my opinion, overall than this one. And that is going to bring me to final thoughts. But before I get there, Kong Studios is releasing their own Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, the pre-order ended a while back, and you're only probably going to be able to get it on the secondhand market. There may be a small batch available on 5K Toys from what I've been hearing. I don't think that the Super Saiyan 3 Goku will be available, though. I think it's just going to be like the Super Saiyan Blue 3 Vegito, if I was a betting man. But I could be wrong. With that being said, man, I think that if Kong hits it out of the park with this 3.0 quote-unquote body Super Saiyan 3 that they're going to release, that this could be a major blow for Demoniacal Fit. Now, we've seen Demoniacal Fit drop some teases over the past couple days. They're going to release a Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. They say they're releasing a GT Goku. If they can deliver on some of those promises and those things can be quality figures, as well as if they can put out that future Gohan and that 3.0 body Saiyan Goku and those knock it out the park, they'll be just fine. But if Kong drops these Super Saiyan 3s, and if they drop their Tableau Super Saiyan 5 and they're just miles above this release, man, I think it's going to look bad for Demoniacal Fit coming up here. And that's sad to say because I do enjoy their figures and I think they are still the de facto best third-party company. But this release especially really turned me off. So I'm not going to talk anymore about Kong, but I'll give my final verdict. Because of the litany of QC issues that this guy has, because of the joints feeling really stiff and squeaky, because of the random shading on the crotch and there's no shading anywhere else. The good things are you get a lot of accessories, which is always a plus with Demoniacal Fit. The price is awesome for the amount of, the amount of quality you get. And look, it's still better than Kong as far as, articulation goes. The faceplates are done really well. I enjoy that. But those are about the only positives, I can say. If I'm going to give this guy a score, because of the accessories and because of that aura effect, and that's my first aura effect with the lightning, and I'm really excited about it, I wanted to give him a lower score than this, but I'm going to go with a 6. If it wasn't for the amount of accessories and that aura effect, he would easily be a 5, but he gets a whole extra point for that. So I'm going a 6 out of 10 on the Golden Storm from Demoniacal Fit. But if you guys have this figure, what do you think? If you don't have it, are you planning on picking it up? Side note, I did not see any listings for this on Mercari. There may be some on eBay, but 5K Toys is all sold out. If I were you, I would not spend any more than $70, $80 on this guy, but it might be hard to find him for that. But like I said, leave your thoughts on this figure below. I appreciate everybody watching to the end. That's the one way you guys can kind of help my videos get out there more and help the channel grow more, is watch until the end. This will be probably one of the last reviews that I do for a while, because I am planning on moving soon. Me and my girlfriend are looking for a new spot, got to save some money, all that good stuff. So I was really disappointed when, this figure kind of turned out how it did. But hey, that's the price you pay to play the game, man. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down, whatever you want to do. But as always, guys, until next time, peace.